All right. Yesterday we went into the Chickamauga Wars, and that's I told you you're not gonna find anything that you were looking for in the Chickamauga Wars because that's just a white on white fight. Um, them trying to fight over how much of our territory they're gonna fucking control as a resource. Hell, up at the top it said uh, ambiguation, blah blah blah, Cherokee American Wars. All right. The Cherokee-American Wars were a series of back-and-forth raids, campaigns, ambushes, minor skirmishes, and several full-scale frontier battles in the Old Southwest from 1776 to 1795. No, what happened in 1776? That this should ring a bell, right? The Europeans' independence, right? That's the right year, right? 1776. And this is the point where we were like, whoa, you're not fucking independent from anybody on no goddamn this soil. Get the fuck out of here. So that's when full war breaks out. The leading Cherokee dragging canoe, who some historians call the Savage Napoleon. Well, when you look at this, the people that came to invade are the barbarians and people that are, defending their homestead or just, defenders of their land, like Nat Turner, I mean, you guys write this shit all wicked and shit. Anyway, and his warriors and other Cherokee fought alongside, so he had his specific warriors, and other Cherokee fought alongside in conjunction with Indians from another number of other tribes, both in the old Southwest, uh, New Mexico, Arizona, and in the old Northwest, all the way up in the Oregon. I should just say fucking the Old West, but, North and South. All right, so most often Muskogee, or how they pronounce it. Now look at the end. It says Kuluk, Kuluk, Muskalook. Now, how Muskalook turned into Muskogee, I have no fucking clue. All right. In the former, the Shawnee, and the Shawnee is the Sawan. If you take the A's out, it says Swanwa. Sa'awanwa. Sa'awanwa. That turned into the Shawnee somehow, right? So what? What does he say? I think he said Shawnee. Okay, right. So goddamn hillbillies. In the latter, during the Revolution, they also fought alongside British troops, Loyalist militia, and the King's Carolina Rangers. When we get into this, uh, I just don't have the heart for a lot of bullshit. So I just started what am I really here for? You know. So I decided I was here for the fucking leaders. So I was like, let's look at the leaders. There's fucking dragging canoe, right? And he's the son of Ada Atakulkilka, excuse me, Lakula, Kulakula, Atakulakula. He's the son of Atakulakula. All right, and here is the father. So the father goes before the son. So it's Atakulakula. Atakulakula. Sounds like a drink, doesn't it? He is often called the Little Carpenter, right? The Little Carpenter was an influential Cherokee leader and the tribe's first beloved man. Don't this start sound like Jesus already? He's a fucking carpenter and he's the beloved, right? His son, dragging canoe, leader of the Chickamauga Cherokee. Names, according to anthropologist Atakulakwa, Kulakwa, Ulloa, whatever. Cherokee name can be translated to leading wood, from Ada meaning wood and Gulaka, Guluk, Gulak, Gulakula as a verb that implies something strong, leaning against some other object. His name, Little Carpenter, derives from the English meaning of his Cherokee name, along with reference to his physical stature. As naturalist William Bartram described him, he was a man of remarkable small stature, slender, delicate frame. His ears were cut with band his ears were cut and banded with silver, hanging nearly down to his shoulders. He was mild-mannered, brilliant, and witty. All right, so anytime we want, we can start learning about these kings. All right, now I'm going to show a little bit of other stuff. Now it says the sun is dragging canoe, and shows you. See how it says Sai Saiu or something. Ganesi. Alright, so that's how, to some degree, they would have pronounced it, and they just say, it's Calm Dragon Canoe. So, when you scroll down, you know there's no images of him or anything like that. They have his death, his biography. He was born in the Nipissing Nipissing. I'm Nipissing right now. Don't open the door. He and his mother was captured when he was an infant. They were adopted into the Cherokee tribe and assimilated. His mother was tamed doe. Neone Ole. Born to the Natchez and adopted as a captive by Akhenasel's household. I'm not sure, that's probably one of their kings. So they were Natchez people that were assimilated into the Cherokee. Alright, so they lived with Overhill Cherokee on the Little Tennessee River. Dragging canoes survived smallpox at a young age, which left his face marked. According to Cherokee legend, his name is derived from an incident in early childhood. Wanting to join a war party, moving against a neighboring tribe, the Shawnee, his father told him he could stay with the party as long as he could carry his canoe. He tried to prove his readiness for war by carrying the heavy canoe, but he could only manage to drag it, so hence his name is Dragging the Canoe. Alright, so you have the Chickamauga Cherokee, and there's all kinds of interesting stuff in this. And when I was reading, I couldn't tell you where necessarily. Joseph, I think it's either in Chickamauga or it's in this one, the Cherokee Wars. Can't remember where. But you see they have just god awful amount. You see that pops out the Lenape, right? The people of Delaware, the Indians of Delaware. Right, so I'm going to show you this trick real quick. So since we got Joseph Brant up, this is Joseph Brant. His name is Fayen Deng Negala Danagala. Fayen Danagala, right? Fayen Danagala. Or Joseph Brant. He was a Mohawk military and political leader. Okay, so when you see Joseph, they show you this image, right? So you take his last name or his real name and you go Thayan Dangala, whatever, right? And you're like, oh, all these pictures, you know, like, wow, that's cool, man. This motherfucker's Indian tribe leader during what year? 1807. And then I was like, 1807? Oh, well, this guy would have been here to see how how the mounds would have been built, right? So, you know, yeah, you would have seen the mounds being built. So I was just reading and I go over here and then I see this fucking pale face and I was just like, wait, this guy was here during the mounds being built? And then I was just like, hold on a second, and so, the more I looked at this and more I start looking around, and some other pictures start popping up, right? And then they say, this is Joseph Bryant, right? And I was like, well, that looked a little bit more Negro-esque. Looking at Negella at the end, right? Nigga. And I was like, this don't look like no Nigella, right? Donagella. Fayin Donagella. And so I started looking at these coins and I was like, wow, dude, you know, they really promote that this is what is the what, and I was just like, dude, that's crazy. And then I was just scrolling through all these shits, man. I was looking through some of this, man. I was like, wow, man, that shit's crazy. This is the image that they put in front of everybody, man. Like, wow, so all these people grow up and they see this. All these people grow up and they see this. All these people grow up and they see this, right? And they see this. And they see this. But the problem is, those people, those two peoples, they don't even fucking look the same. This person does not look like this, right? And so it started to make me think, why are they showing you different images for the same person? Okay, they got a different, there's somebody that's different right here, but here we go again. This is Joseph Bryant, Thayan Danagela, right? All right, so I kind of settled my thoughts. Okay, well, that must be who it is. But then I came over and I found this, and I was looking for Hod N O Saw E, all right, because when I was dicking around looking through here, the Haudenosaunee came up. All right, so not sure what picture it was, but one of these pictures led to the name Hawden so something. So here, I'll just hit backwards. And when I popped that in, all these pictures came up, and now it's NYS attack haunts. Uh, so the more you scroll down, you see there's two Indian groups, and you see the guy in armor right here. You see the cannons here. This is the Iroquois at Wikipedia. Engraving based on a drawing by Chaplin of the 1609 voyage depicts the battle between Iroquois and the Algonquin tribes near Lake Champlain. All right, so the Iroquois and the Algonquin are two of the same fucking blood groups. They're different tribes, but they're the same blood group. Now, that's the interesting thing. And what would make them want to war with each other? And you can see the Imperials in here. Right, so again, I forgot what led to it. I believe it was something like this. Here we go. On Dossie. All right, and then that led somewhere down here. I don't mean to scroll too fast. Right, and then you have these people being called the Iroquois. Now remember this image. You see all these people being called the Iroquois, and none of them want to look at the camera. Right? Now, you scroll down some more. Can't remember where I found that image. Oh, well, I'll get by it. Now, I went backwards. Now I'm going to go forward. Now, I added the word Negro to Hawandasi. All right? Hawan Osani. Hawan Osani. All right, now, when you add the word Negro, then things start to change. All right, so then you start to see this person pop up. Now, it says the Hawandawasi Iroquois on Pinterest, and you know how bad I hate Pinterest. And it talks about the Mohawk, the Oneida, the Onondaga, the Seneca, uh, talks about the 6 nations of the Confederacy. Now, when you get into this picture, it has more of a Negro image than you'd see out of these other Indians. Now, this person looks more Asian, dark Asian, but again, that's just a drawing. And it's okay because, we're going to see some things that are going to open our eyes to a few facts. You know, here we have tribes of the Iroquois Confederacy, and these guys look Mongoloid, they look Asiatic, or a mix between Mongols and Asiatics. And then, like you see right here, then this little picture popped up, and I was like, what is that? And then there's historic Iroquois and Wabanaki. Okay, so I was like, what do you mean historic? When I see all these fucking images, I think these images are historic, but technically, this image is actually a historic image. This is out of this. You see the Indian scalping? You see the hair on the scalp? That's not another Indian. This is out of the book America Being the Latest Greatest Discovery of the New World. I recognize that image. To me, that's a recognizable image. So when they make George Washington, right, and the Oneida Nation Friendship Statue, this is what they draw, right? Now, when you go here, now look real close, historic Iroquois and Wabanaki, right? Now, that's a Negro, that's a Negro, that's a Negro, that's a Negro, that's a Negro. Everybody in this picture's Negro. What does it say at the bottom? Algonquin. Didn't I tell you that the Algonquin and the Iroquois are related? Now you have a historic photograph of the whole fucking Algonquin Iroquois Wabanaki tribe. And they don't want you to see shit like this. Now why they make all these fucking pictures of Mongols when this is the Iroquois? In what, 19 something? They give the date on a lot of these pictures. 1925. 1925, this is what the Iroquois look like. So let me get this straight. Historically, the Iroquois look like that. But when I type in Iroquois, what do you think they're gonna give me? Hmm? Iroquois. Let's see what they give me. Here we go. Mongols. Mongoloid. Mongols. 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 Still a Mongol. They don't want you to know the truth. Now, if I just add the word Negro, what's gonna happen? Hey, what do you know? Some Negro features. What do you know? Right there. First row. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Look, first row. Iroquois, right? Wapanika. Excuse me. Wapanaki. Wampanoag. What the hell? Why do they have that? All right. So on the trail of Iroquois, right? And then here's this dude's image, right? This is the Joseph Bryant, right? This is what they show you when Thayen Denega, right? That's the image they show you. Now, 4 kings and 1 queen came up. So these images came up, and they show you these Asian-looking people. And again, here's this guy, right? And it doesn't get any bigger. So we're going to take that off. So if I scroll up or down, the image will close. And if you have Pinterest, it's type in Explore African Americans. So if you have Pinterest, you can type in Explore Ain't African Americans and more, or something of that nature. But again, when I scroll, you see they start to block it, and I don't feel like dealing with them, and you can see some of the images right there, but they're, how Pinterest is. So there are images of actual black Iroquois, and they're just hidden in the oddest places. The oddest places. Now, I was looking around and it started talking about the New York history blog and the 2 Hendricks, a Mohawk Indian mystery, right? And so they have this pale dude dressed all British. And the most famous Indian was killed on the Bloody Morning scout that launched the Battle of Lake George. His name was Hendrick Peters. They took the D out, but anyway, that's his fucking name. This one's Hendrick Peters. The other one's Joseph something, right? So it says Thay and Ugwin in English, but he was widely known as King Hendrick. In an unfortunate twist of linguistic and historical fate, he shares the same first name as another famous Native American, Hendrick Tejon Iroquois, or something like that, who, although 30 years before, was also famous in his own right. He was one of 4 Indian kings who became a sensation in London in 1710. Met Queen Anne, so in 1710 they were taken before Queen Anne, and wined and dined as an international celebrity. Both Hendricks were Mohawk warriors. Both were Christians who aided Great Britain against France in their struggles for the empire. Both served as important sachems. Fucking right, sachemship was important kings who stressed cooperation instead of bloody confrontation. Now, you see cooperation. See how cooperation left everyone? These kings stressed work with the English instead of bloody confrontation, war, who helped negotiate the relationship between fellow Mohawks and European colonials, who recognized that the Iroquois Confederacy was critical to the balance of power in early 18th century of America. Okay, the balance of power is you have what? You have French, you have English, and you have Spaniards, and you have a bunch of different Indian groups. If you're any one of these groups and you can get any of these Indians on your side, then you'll have a better chance against the people that have or share the same technology as you, right? We can send a few generals, and if they can get the Indians to fight for them, then our armies are already there, right? So listen to what happens, because this is what happens when they help them. Both Hendricks were later confused by historians into one man. They were confused into one. They were fused into one man. Eric Hendricks The Two Hendricks, Unraveling a Mohawk Mystery, sets out to unearth the lives of these two important Mohawk men and entangle their stories from a confused history of colonial native relations. I'm going to skip down. And it says, the early Hendricks, right, this is the one that was wined and dined, right, took part in King William's War, including the failed attempt to launch an all-out invasion of Canada in retaliation for Frontenac's, I think it's supposed to be Pontiac's, but Frontenac's raid in February 1690, which destroyed Schenectady. He was among the Mohawks of Tiongeron, something like that, the Lower Castle, who were swindled out of their lands along the Mohawks by the colonial neighbors. All right, so up here they helped the colonists, and down here the colonists swindled their ass out of their land. So that's what you get. Now, when we oh, you know what? There was some. Is it under Iroquois? I don't think it was. There was Hawes on there, but at the end, there was a modern picture, wasn't there? I started with it. So this is Hottentot Negroes, and one of these things had a specific picture that I wanted to bring up. Couldn't have been Iroquois. I just opened that, right? No, it wasn't this one. This one was just opened. Man, the hunt for Red October. Oh well, looks like I'm gonna have to chalk that one up to a loss. It's on this page. I can smell it. It's because it doesn't go that far. I just don't see it. Here's one of the images of the four kings that they allegedly claim were four kings and one queen. I lost the image that I wanted to go to on here. It was an image of the 1900s. It was kind of like this one, of black indigenous Americans, right? But all that stuff's on Pinterest. If you want to find that stuff, you can look at it on Pinterest. Look at this. Here's, on Pinterest, Northwest and South Amexem. So you can see that if you want on Pinterest. And yeah, I lost the picture. Sorry. All right, so we the two Hendricks, it talks about how they stole the land. Let's see. I figure out why this one's opened up. The act of genocidal Indian residential schools in Canada and crimes against humanity concealed. All right, it's all over here. I think there was something here that I wanted. Oh, here they talk about the Six Nations. Don't think there was. I think it was something from another page, and I clicked over and didn't line it up. All right, so gonna not worry about that. So as I was looking through the name Thayendaga, this is French. Objects de nouvelle art et de la miniature. So when you go to, I think this is French. I'm pretty sure it is. Indians have figurine is immaculate condition made of Zamek made by Andre Andrea miniature collection, Native American Indians, not suitable for children in 3 years. Belgium see legislation for other countries. Now, this is an image of a Native American, and guess what they draw? I mean, guess what they make? They make a nigga. Now, they're selling toys in English to Belgian kids, and when they make Native American toys, they don't make them look like fucking mongoloids. They make them look like Negroes. This is the Indian leader that is called Say and Da Nigga. Thayin that nigga. His name is Thayin. You know that nigga. So when they go, this is Thayin that nigga, and you're like, oh, this is Thayin that nigga. It's not. This is a fake image to bullshit you. Here's a fucking toy of him. Now, how come everybody outside the United States know the black people are the Native Americans? Everybody inside the United States just think black people are just niggas. All right. Now, you want the real deal? Here's the real deal. This is what saying that nigga look like. Now, look at the name Dan in there. Damn, nigga. Saying Dan Ega. Saying Dan Agia. Agia. Dan. Now, that's the real cat. That's the real cat. The toy is based off what? The fucking portrait. And this shit is just to fuck with you. These people didn't arrive till after 1850 or they would have seen the fucking mounds being built. They lied. They receive appropriated resources to pretend to be you. They don't have to work. All they gotta do is wipe their fucking ass. They don't farm. They don't have any fucking businesses. They don't have a care in the fucking world because they are taken care of as prisoners of war when they ain't fighting no fucking war. Your resources are fed to them as long as they pretend to be you. They're Guk Turks. They're half Chinese, Japanese, and Turk mixed together. They're a form of Mongoloid. And they know it. And this isn't some fucking, I'm not saying anything, and you type in Guk 10, Guk Turk. I'm not saying anything racist. Go to all. You see, you got an image of it. Guk Turk 1, Guk Turk 2. See? Turkic cognate. What? What? It's all right there. You got to understand, sitting around listening to goddamn music, unless this shit is written into music, how do you write Guk Turk into music? Unless this shit is written into music, you ain't gonna find it. All you gotta do is understand the fucking name. And then they'll tell you the people. You can't find this shit on MSNBC. You can't find this shit on Fox. Those people are paid to call you nigga instead of Cherokee, nigga instead of Anasazi, nigga instead of Hebrew, nigga instead of Moabite, nigga instead of Ammonite, nigga instead of Greek. There are many races here prior, including the Norsemen, to colonization. These people are paid to show you different images. They'll show you this So you'll never know it was this. You used to be kings. Well, when? At what time in history? At this time in history. They just changed the image. A picture says 1,000 words. Inside their mind, 1,000 things will race to their head saying, these people were here? Tell them they're from Africa and they'll never realize that this is the truth.